What is up, guys, and welcome back to part 18 of my F1 2016 career mode here at the American Grand Prix. If you've missed the previous 17 episodes, then you can click the little card annotation in the top right hand corner of your screens to go catch up with everything that's happened over the season so far. Just before we get into today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to Cal HD for giving me a little shout out over on his Twitter page. So if you have joined me because of that, then welcome to the channel, and I hope you enjoy the stuff that I create for you. I also want to apologize because I accidentally forgot to get all the replays for today's race. So you're not going to see the replays and see footage from the other drivers, unfortunately. You know, I accidentally pressed the advanced button instead of replays. So a little boo-boo by me, but without any further ado, let's get into today's video. Here we are then in the laptop menu, and it looks like Haas have done a lot of upgrades on their car, and it looks like Mercedes have also done a few upgrades as well. So hopefully for them, that will put them closer to Ferrari, who are actually running away with this championship at the moment. You know, they've got a lot of good results in the last couple of races, and look at the research performance comparison. Ferrari is leading the way still against Mercedes. Haas have now jumped up into 4th position, just behind us in the research and development race. We are not going to have any more development across the rest of the season because we've stopped that. So we do need to be aware of the other drivers, but hopefully we're still a top team in this American Grand Prix. And let's find out how we do in practice.
Here we are at the Circuit of the Americas in Texas, USA, for the start of what is sure to be another exciting race weekend.
Here we are then going over our first couple of laps here at the American Grand Prix here in practice. Just doing the track acclimatization. We did manage to get a purple score, but that was pretty much it. Unfortunately, we couldn't do the time management, nor did we have enough pace to do the qualifying one. So that was it for practice session. We were right down at the back of the field, as you will see in a minute. Here we go on the results. Right down the back of the field, and hopefully we can pick it up in qualifying.
We're expecting qualifying to start any minute here in Austin, Texas, where drivers will be hoping to top the timesheets today and be ready for tomorrow's US Grand Prix.
Here we are then for the first qualifying session of the day, and we will be hoping to get out of Q1 and into Q2 very easily. I know I say that all the time, and sometimes it just doesn't happen for us. We haven't exactly performed very well in the last couple of qualifying sessions. We seem to do a lot better in the race, but qualifying is always a big letdown for us. So hopefully we change that here today, and we can get a good couple of laps. So we're going to head out on track, see what we can do in this qualifying session, hope that it's good enough to get into Q2. Right then, first lap here in Q1, going round the final corner now, down towards the line. Lap so far, not exactly the best. We're quite a bit slower than Daniel Ricciardo, but it's good enough for 6th position. We are above Carlos Sainz at the moment. It's a 140.061, 2 seconds off the pace of Daniel Ricciardo, mind you. So it's not the best of laps, so we will be looking to improve just in case. And here we are, coming round the final corner once again, down towards the line. It is an improvement at the moment by about 5/10 of a second. It's enough to jump up above Carlos Sainz once again, up into 6th position, and surely that should be enough to get into Q2. And yeah, it is. There we go, up into Q2. Jolyon Palmer, he finished the session in 8th. We were down in 13th, but it's still enough. Valtteri Bottas missing out because he decided to go on the soft tyres. Bit of a mistake from him. Nico Hülkenberg, a bit of a surprise, being out of the session as well. But for now, let's head into Q2. Here we are then, the second qualifying session of the day. Round the final corner, we only went out for 1 lap. So down towards the line, DRS open, across the line, so 139.5 I think that was. And is it enough to get into Q3? Yes, it is. 9th position, a fantastic qualifying session from us so far. It's been a while since we've had a really, really good qualifying session, so very, very happy with that. Up into 9th position, just ahead of Jolyon Palmer, but he also gets into Q3, so both Renaults into Q3, and hopefully we can have a good qualifying session. But let's see who comes out on top in the top 10 shootout. Right then, this is the big one, into Q3, round the last couple of corners now, just cutting that penultimate corner just a little bit, in towards the final corner now. Want to take a nice line through there, taking a lot of apex, maybe losing the back end just a little bit. DRS open, down across the line, and where is it good enough for in Q3? 8th position. Fantastic qualifying result for us. The engineer a little bit disappointed, but I'm very, very happy with 8th position in today's qualifying session. Just about out-qualifying our teammate Jolyon Palmer as well. Losing out to our rival Max Verstappen though, so that's a little bit disappointing in today's qualifying session. But Kimi Räikkönen, he goes and gets pole position with Sebastian Vettel finishing in 2nd. Nico Rosberg is in 3rd with his teammate Lewis Hamilton in 4th. Daniel Ricciardo 5th with Roman Grosjean up into 6th position in that newly upgraded Haas car. Max Verstappen is in 7th. I'm in 8th. Jolyon Palmer is in 9th. And Esteban Gutierrez rounds out the top 10. So we'll be hoping for a good result in tomorrow's race. 8th position in qualifying. We tend to do a lot better in the race as well. So hopefully we can maybe challenge for another podium in the season. But we're just going to have to wait and see if that happens. But without any further ado, let's head over to the race for the American Grand Prix.
In 2012, America's on-again, off-again love affair with Formula One finally seemed to settle down with the completion of this wonderful racing facility here in Texas. Since then, we've been treated to some incredible races, including, of course, that classic wet-dry championship decider of 2015. We're racing today then in Travis County, Texas, where 20 corners and speeds of up to 200 miles an hour await us on this magnificent racetrack. It's 60% full throttle with plenty of good opportunities to pass, especially through the 2 DRS zones into turn 1 and at the end of the long back straight into turn 12. What a race we have in store today. With me today is Anthony Davidson, a man who knows this circuit quite well. Why do you think, though, Ants, that this Grand Prix has now found such huge success since returning to the calendar in 2012?
Well, full credit to the race promoters. They have a Grand Prix in a part of the country famed for its love of motorsport, and they do a fantastic job of advertising it to the right crowd, and then satisfying them when they're here with excellent facilities. It also tends to help when the circuit itself is good, and that's definitely true here. The layout is interesting and it produces some exciting action. Hosting a thrilling title decider like we had in 2015 wouldn't hurt either, so the pressure's on then to maintain that kind of quality here today.
Okay, you can brake late into 1 because of the incline. It's a slow corner though, so make sure you stay out of trouble. Good luck.
Here we are then. It's race day for the American Grand Prix, starting in a fantastic 8th position for today's race. It was a fantastic qualifying session, and you know, we just had a fantastic result from it up into P8, and hopefully we can use that position to try and get a great result in today's race. But you know, we've got a couple of guys ahead of us, we've got a couple of good drivers ahead of us that we do need to get past first. You know, the Ferraris are very, very quick at the moment. The Mercedes are probably very, very quick once again after the upgrades that they made. The Haas is also a quick car. They're very, very close to us, and you can't, you know, get rid of the Red Bulls as well. So we've just got to worry about all those guys. Looking at the race strategy for today, so far they want me to go for super softs, softs, then softs again. We're going to have a look at how our tyre no, we didn't do a tyre management, so we're not going to have a look at that, but I think we're just going to stick with the super soft, softs. We're not going to go for more stops, for less stops in this race. I think we're just going to stick with that one for now, just stick with what the AI do, and hopefully that would be good enough to sort of keep up with him. So let's get on with today's race. We get on with today's formation lap. So all the other guys getting away ahead of us. This time around, you know, we're at the front of the grid, so we get to wait a lot quicker than we usually do. Usually we're waiting for quite a long time on the grid, but we're right behind Max Verstappen at the moment. He's going very, very slowly down towards turn 1, so we're just got to give him a lot of room there, and there we go, going down towards the line, weaving the tyres in a minute, and here we are on the starting grid. So the lights starting to come on. It's 5 red lights. Lights out, and away we go for the American Grand Prix, and it's a great start compared to Roman Grosjean. Jolyon Palmer also having a good start. We're looking to maybe squeeze it up the inside, down in between both Max Verstappen and the Haas drivers. Ricciardo and Raikkonen get caught up. That puts Ricciardo into my way, and unfortunately we've lost a big amount of our front wing, our left front wing end plate, which is really disappointing in our race. Orange at the moment on the damage, so really disappointing start to the race. We had a fantastic start, got up past Max Verstappen and Roman Grosjean straight away. I think Jolyon Palmer has also been caught up with that collision as well. I think he's got a bit of a damage because he's holding up a lot of guys through the S's section. But yeah, very disappointing start to this race. We were hoping for better. Unfortunately, Daniel Ricciardo and Kimi Raikkonen getting caught up there, and that really affects our race because unfortunately, luckily we are still going to go for a 2-stopper. The tyres are going to last, but it's going to mean that we're going to have to, you know, hold out those tyres for a long time. They're going to be really worn at the end of each stint. But here we are going around the penultimate corner. NASA just getting through very easy. There's a little bit of a tyre bang, but we don't really mind that too much. It wasn't a lot. And here we go, going down in towards the pit lane. We want to get stopped in time, and there we go, just about getting stopped in time for the pit box and coming in for our first pit stop in this race. A little bit disappointing to lose out so many positions at the start of this race, but hopefully we can come back into it with a good strategy. You know, we're doing the same sort of pit stops as everybody else, so we won't lose out too much time there, but it's just whether we can make the tyres last and whether they are still competitive as well. But everyone is getting past us. Jolyon Palmer did a fantastic job of holding up a lot of drivers because of his front wing damage as well. I think he's going to be coming into the pits as well as he goes in towards the final corner. And yes, Jolyon Palmer is coming into the pits on this lap, and there is confirmation as that's a little bit disappointing that Jolyon Palmer got caught up in that incident as well. So it looks like Renault won't be scoring any points today unless something amazing happens. We'll be hoping for a safety car or something like that, but we're cutting ahead to lap 5 now. There's a yellow flag out at the moment as we go down in towards turn 1. So what has gone on here? There's Felipe Massa over there, not Nazar, Felipe Massa over there on the left-hand side, and he's gone off the track. He's gone into the billboards, and not too sure what has happened to the Williams drive. Unfortunately, we don't have replays because I accidentally pressed advance instead of pressing the replay button. But going down in towards turn 1, once again, another yellow flag in this American Grand Prix. Who is it this time? It's Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull that got caught up in the incident in towards turn 1 at the start of the race has now been caught up in another incident there, and this time it has put him right at the back of the field. So it looks like we could be racing with Daniel Ricciardo once again in this American Grand Prix. So we do need to be aware of the Red Bull driver. At the moment, he's on the faster tyres on the super softs, and here he is right on my tail as we go through the left, and we've run it very, very wide through there. That's allowed Daniel Ricciardo to have a look up the inside. Also, Nico Hülkenberg, who pitted earlier on in the race. Looks like he's trying to have a move. A little bit of a tyre bang between the two of us. Nico Hülkenberg not giving us a lot of room through the corner. Once again, not giving us a lot of room on the exit, but going down into the hairpin. He's got the inside line. He's got the job done, but we're just going to follow behind him. We know we're going to get DRS on this next straight, so we're just going to follow behind him for the time being. And there we go. We should get DRS any moment now. There we go. Up into 7th gear, and it's job done before we've even got to the corner. This Renault engine is so much faster than pretty much most of the guys in the field at the moment. Going down in towards this left-hander, and nice and tidy through there, and we are back up into 16th position in the race. And up next for us is Marcus Ericsson. There's a yellow flag at the moment. Felipe Massa is out of the race, and I believe that is because of an engine failure. Unfortunately, we don't have replay, so I don't have confirmation of that, but I think it was an engine failure for Felipe Massa. That's the only reason I can think of him pulling over on the straights. There's a couple of guys in the pits, and we should get out just behind Sergio Perez, but we've gone very, very deep into turn 1. That's allowed Nico Hülkenberg an easy move up the inside into turn 1. We gave Fernando Alonso the room. We didn't know where he was coming out of the pit lane, and unfortunately that's lost me position to Nico Hülkenberg. And now we're going through the right-hander, running it wide once again. That's allowed Danny Kvyat to have a little look up the inside. He's got the job done before he's even got to the next couple of corners, but we're going to dive it up the inside in towards this left-hander, side by side with the Toro Rosso driver. We're giving him a lot of room on the outside, and now he's got the inside line into this long, fast right-hander. It's side by side between me and Danny Kvyat, but we swooped around the outside, and job done on the Toro Rosso driver. Up into 15th position in this American Grand Prix, and hopefully we can keep hold of it. But here we are cutting ahead to lap 14, coming into the pits for our second pit stop in this race. We've managed to make the tyres last for a whole 14 laps in this race, getting a stop for the pit box just about there, locking up massively, but luckily we will not be using this set of tyres again, so we don't really care if we wear them too much coming into the pits. But here we are coming into our pit box for our second stop in this American Grand Prix, and what should be our last pit stop if everything goes to plan, and that's a 2.4 second stop from the Renault boys. A very, very quick pit stop, and it looks like Jolyon Palmer could be coming out just ahead of us in the pit stop phase. So here goes my teammate down in towards turn 1. And there we go, fairly easy move there for Jolyon Palmer to get back up into P20, ahead of me at the moment, but he does still have to make a pit stop within the next couple of laps, so we will be aware of that, and hopefully we can get back past him very, very easily. And here we are around the penultimate corner, and there we go, Jolyon Palmer coming into the pits, and it's a fairly easy job done there on Jolyon Palmer to get back up into 20th position, but we are not very happy with this position at the moment. It's been a very, very disappointing race for us in this American Grand Prix. Not a lot has happened to us, in all honesty, and there's a yellow flag at the moment. Jenson Button is out of the race in exactly the same position as Felipe Massa did. I'm not too sure whether that's engine failure as well. Unfortunately, there's no replay, so no confirmation of that, so not too sure what's happened. He might have been caught up with Felipe Nasr, who is going very, very slowly in towards the third sector. And yeah, there could have been an incident between those two. I wish I'd seen it, wish I'd actually looked at the replays, but Felipe Nasr dropping down the standings, and hopefully Jolyon Palmer can get past him later on in the race. We've got a couple of guys in the pits at the moment, but I think we are just going to miss out on those guys. Rio Haryanto right to the back of that train, and I think we are just going to miss out on getting past the Manor driver down in towards turn 1. And there we go, Rio Haryanto getting a better exit out of the pits, and here we are cutting ahead to lap 24. We are gaining on Rio Haryanto, but Daniel Ricciardo coming into pits for his final pit stop. That's good news for us. That's put us above the Red Bull driver that caused us this pretty much bad race. It all started from his collision with Kimi Raikkonen, forced himself into my path, and unfortunately I lost my front wing. But here we are, following behind the Manor driver of Rio Haryanto. Going down this very, very long straight. We will have DRS on the Manor driver. Will it be enough to go for a move? We know that Manor is very, very quick in a straight line, but I think it is going to be enough. We pull over to the left-hand side, get the inside line. No, we get the job done before we even get to the corner. Brake very, very early for the corner, though, and that allows Rio Haryanto to have a little look there. He had a little nudge against me. That's giving him the inside line into this next right-hander. We're going to try a little bit of a cutback move, try and get the power down, try and get the inside line into this next corner. No, try another cutback move, try and get the inside line into this corner like we did to Danica Kvyat. And I think it's going to be job done. No, Rio Haryanto is coming back at us, going into the fast right-hander. And there we go. Rio Haryanto gives us position, and we are now up into P16 once again. Still no, a very, very disappointing position in this race. We were hoping for better coming into today's race, and that is it. Sebastian Vettel, he went on to win the race. We've got Rio Haryanto and Daniel Ricciardo right on my tail at the moment as we come into the last couple of corners. We should be able to hold them off, though, if we're lucky enough. But here we are coming down into the final corner of this American Grand Prix. It was a very, very disappointing race for myself, down in 16th position, and we'll be looking to do better in the next one.
Not good enough at all. Let's push harder next time, okay?
So, another excellent win from Ferrari. Anthony, what do you think made the difference here?
The difference was clearly in the strategy. You could tell they'd done a lot of work on the pit wall to really optimise each stint and get the most out of the tyres. And it highlights just how much of a team sport this really is. But credit to the driver as well, though. There's no good having a well-oiled machine behind the scenes without a talented hand on the wheel, of course.
And as we can see, it's time for the podium. And as the drivers make their way out, there's a familiar red suit making its way to the top step. Fantastic win for Ferrari.
A terrible, terrible race from myself there at the American Grand Prix. Right down in 16th position, so I just want to apologise for such terrible racing from myself here today. But Sebastian Vettel, he went on to win the race to really push on for that championship this season. I think he's pretty much got it in the bag now. Kimi Raikkonen finished in second, doing a great job for Ferrari, put him even further ahead of Mercedes. Lewis Hamilton is in third with Max Verstappen, my rival, in fourth. Nico Rosberg finished the race in fifth with Romain Grosjean sixth. Esteban Gutierrez seventh. Valtteri Bottas in eighth. Carlos Sainz ninth, and Fernando Alonso getting the final point in 10th. But yeah, a very, very disappointing race for me, and we were down in 16th position. Luckily, we did beat our teammates still, and we did manage to beat Daniel Ricciardo, but all three of us getting caught up in that collision at the start of the race. And this is really going to affect us in the Drivers' Championship, and let's just have a look at those standings now. And as you can see, we are still in 7th in the stands. Unfortunately, we didn't gain on Daniel Ricciardo. We didn't score any points here today, but neither did Daniel Ricciardo, so he hasn't got away from us. So there is a little bit of a positive there still today. Carlos Sainz finished in, I think he's finished in the points, so he does gain on us, but I think we are cleared to get at least 7th position in the driver's stands. Kimi Raikkonen moves up into second place, and at the moment Sebastian Vettel is 45 points ahead in the driver's standings. So if he has a fantastic race in Mexico, he can definitely win the Drivers' Championship there. But let's have a look at how this affects us in the Constructors' standings. And in the Constructors' standings, we are still in 5th position. We've lost out a couple of points to Toro Rosso there. They are now 7 points ahead of us in the Constructors' standings. So we will be looking to get back to them at maybe the Mexican, the Brazilian, and the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix into the last 3 races of this season. Hopefully we can do that, but we're just gonna have to wait and see. Hopefully we can get some good results. Maybe Jolyon Palmer can get into the points as well, and he can really help us to get that 4th position in the Constructors' standings. But that is it for today's American Grand Prix. Let's head back to the menus. Having a little look at the rivalry update, Max Verstappen, he absolutely destroyed us in that race after that terrible collision that we had down into turn 1. He now makes it 12-6 in the rivalry against him. So we are losing out to Max Verstappen right now, and there it is in the laptop screen. Looking at the research and development, nothing really there, but that is it for today's American Grand Prix. If you have enjoyed it, don't forget to smash that like button. Also, subscribe to my channel if you are new around here. I've had so much fun on content over the first 2 weeks of F1 being out. I'm going going to have so much more Formula 1 content coming to you. I'm going to have this career mode every single day, and if I do miss a day, I make it up with a double upload, because obviously I did miss yesterday's upload, so I'm really, really sorry about that. I do apologise, but I'm making up to you today with a double upload. Mexico Grand Prix will be up later today, so you can definitely look forward to that. And if you are subscribed, then you will get a little notification that the video is up, and you never have to miss an episode from me. But I will see you next time at the Mexican Grand Prix. But until then, it's goodbye from me.